let's get going after that little bit of delay. So begin please by finding your upright Pilates stance, and then we're going to be walking on the spot first of all. So it's as if you're sliding up a wall. Of course, you're pressing into the forefoot and alternating as you find what's known as heel raises. Now, as your right knee bends and you lift into the heel of the right foot, raise the left arm. It can be to the side or it can be really up by your ear, and press the right arm back, and then begin to swap. And breathe and move as cleanly as you can. So you'll start to feel the tone coming through the abdominals. This is a continuous flow motion, and you can make little fists with the hands, or you might have decided, well, you know what, Rose, I'm feeling really strong this morning. I'm already going to pick up my hand weights. Try to aim for a flowing action. This is exactly what it says on the tin. This is walking on the spot. So it mirrors, to a certain extent, the sort of heel to toe action that happens in a walking gait. Of course, you want to feel and sense that as your ankle, knee and hip changes over, you don't have any drift. The knee doesn't drift in or out. So you're finding also that you do not go into what I call a dancey hip action. So that's when you feel the core intelligence of the body from the feet to the crown. Usually walk on the spot for approximately 2 minutes. Remember, your eyes are to the horizon and your crown is lengthening away. Pace is moderate. I wouldn't go too slow, and I also wouldn't go too fast, because if you go too fast, you start to lose the technique. So you've got about another 15 seconds. Enjoy this warm-up. Into the body, Pilates, walking on the spot. Remember to breathe. It's all part of alignment, breathing and centering as well. And then release. Give the legs a little shake out. Maybe stir your ankles. And then we're just going to use a standing balance. And what you're going to try and do is, as you bring the arms out into a soft low V or T shape, or you can bend the elbows more definitively, and again, perhaps choose to pick up some weights. So you could be in this kind of position, and then going to bring weight through into the left pelvic half and try to touch the right knee to the right elbow. Now you can also lengthen the leg, so you can bend or lengthen out the leg, but it's about stability and control. So 5 or 6 into the right side. Breathe and feel that movement. Squeeze down. It's kind of a little bit to the side. It's easier to bend the knee, of course. It's actually strong as you draw the right elbow and the right armpit towards the right hip. Feel free to roll your shoulders in between the 2 sides of this dynamic balance. Find that open chest, shoulder blades broad into the back, root through the right foot, maybe bend the knees a little bit, and then can you pick up that left leg and squeeze the elbow towards that leg. Maybe you can try one with the legs straighter, so it lengthens away. But essentially, this is accessing the oblique muscles at the side of the waist, while also challenging your ability to stabilize on one leg. Again, after 5 or 6 repetitions, roll out the shoulders. I'm going to pop the weights down just for a few arm warm-ups. So refresh your standing stance, reach your arms out, and rotate the palms up. So thumbs up, broad chest, shoulder blades in the back, unlock your knees. Remember that the pelvis is level and in neutral, natural spine curves. So press up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Broaden the arms. Turn the palms down, thumbs down. Inhale, exhale. Push back for 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try not to roll around that frame, so keep the frame nice and steady. And when you reach 20, extend the arms out again. Turn the palms flat down to the earth. Rotate the palms forward and press back this way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 20. And then making those C curls at the side of the body. So rolling the arms around. Sometimes we call this polishing the balls. So imagine you've got two big beach balls or gym balls beside you. But essentially, you'll notice from a demonstration that the shape that I'm making on either end of the palms here it's like two big capital C's with lovely curly tops and bottoms. So breathe and move. Of course, your C's can sometimes be smaller and you can move faster. So you're rolling round, under and over. And then occasional inhale, exhale. Breathing in, exhale. As you exhale, find that center strength. Find the corsetry of muscles drawing into that midline. And then release and shrug, roll. Ease out your shoulders and swim them out. Okay, I'm going to pick the weights up again, but I'm going to go for the 1 kilo weights. Just to mix it up, and also because it's an important decision that you make as well, to be discriminating about how strong you're feeling in your whole Pilates body this morning. We're taking 2 arm weight series in a quarter hinge. So press your feet into the earth strongly, tip from the pelvis as you soften and bend the knees, and find that your back is in a broad tabletop back position, and bring the palms below the shoulders and lengthen the neck. As you bend the elbows, draw the arms up and back and then squeeze in. So this is Pilates bug. So you want to feel tailbone lengthens, a little bit of tone on the abs. Don't suck that belly in so you can't breathe. And this can also be done in standing. And dependent how strong you're feeling in the back, so this is the core of the back, you can of course come up and stand. And this is what it looks like in standing, so the palms are below the chest and shoulder line. Please don't aim to pinch the scapulae together. If you discovered that you weren't finding enough resistance, second set would be swapping to your heavier weights if you have them. That's the 1.5 kilo or the 2 kilo. Maybe another set of 10. Try not to overdo. So simply enough that you feel that strength coming across that upper line and into the back, the core of the back. Come and stand. Shake out the legs. Once you've completed the 2 sets of the bug, you're going to take 2 sets of Pilates boxing. So again, it's a quarter hinge, if that feels comfortable for you. You're corseting the muscles in at the ribs. You bring the weights up towards the collarbones. And again, this can be done in standing. And you thrust and push one arm forward and one arm back. And it unites here. So it's like a push, back, and a press in. So quarter hinge, crown lengthens, feet are anchored, knees tracking over the centre feet, crown in line. So press and release, push and back. And it's great for the triceps, especially as you take that arm back. You can feel how intentional you have to be in the muscles of the core to find Pilates boxing. Push, press, change and breathe. Press and swap. Now and again, you'll have that noisy exhalation. Try not to twist. Keep the inner thighs engaged. And take a breather. That's probably about 10 or 12 sets. Notice how your heart rate has increased. And then coming in for your second set. Parallel feet, all four corners of the feet anchored. Bend your knees just a couple of centimeters or so. Tip forward from the pelvis. A half tilt, the torso faces the mat. So this is the quarter hinge. Weights or fists in towards the collarbones. And then start boxing. Push and press. And each set, so left, right, right, left is a set. So I'm on about number 4 or 5 here. You can contain that energy for perhaps whole set of 10 in your second set. And you can also stand and try a few of those movements in standing. You've already warmed up that zone in your walking on the spot. So with the weights placed by the mat, or still holding the weights, please come into roll down if that's suitable for your body. So look down to the toes, release the energy, flexing into the neck. And as you soften the knees, follow the belly. And slowly and mindfully, let your body drape over the legs. Maybe this is the point when you pop your weights down. And full breath in and out when you're in your Pilates roll down, if you're using roll down. Options are to roll down at the wall or to use L-shaped stretch. And then press through feet. And as you exit the roll down, scoop the belly in more. Slide up the legs. You are still looking at your toes. And it's only when your shoulders are above the hips do you float the head and roll your shoulders back. So please try not to be in too much of a hurry to come up and down from the roll down from the heart. So if you tip forward like this, your chin will jump and your face will be forward. You'll be looking at the front of the mat. And that is not Pilates roll down. Pilates roll down is attempting to lead from your crown. So you're finding the mobility in the spinal column. And it's the rectus abdominis that helps that spine flex. So one of the roles of the rectus abdominis is to flex the spine. So everyone coming down to the mat now. Second or third roll down. You might have used these a lot faster. Keep peeling and walking down the legs. And then please come into seated, in which case you may want to unravel your folded blanket or your padded mat. So as you come into sitting, Find that the buttocks are seated well onto a secure area and the feet are in front of the body. Knees are bent. Weights, small or medium if you wish. I'm going to use some bicep curls in seated or seated half roll back. So if the half roll back is not a practice that works well for you, can you just pattern some bicep curls into your seat? So you'll be sitting tall on cushion, yoga block or blanket, and lowering and pressing against resistance as the elbows curl the hands in towards the collarbones. Okay, some of us will be comfortable to tuck the tail under, squeeze the buttocks towards the heels, come into like a quarter or half roll back, and then some bicep curls in the roll down. Gonna do 10, 9, 8, scoop that belly in, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and resit, and then just let the legs fan open, and you can even tip forward and shake out the head and neck. Again, sit tall and choose to sit and twist. So bring your weights to the midline or bring your fists to the midline, knuckles together, and twist to the left and center, and twist and turn to the right. And that can be a little bit more of a faster pace. Or again, squeeze gluteals, hug the muscles into your midline. Half or quarter roll back. Feet are resting on the earth, heels are resting on the earth or feet, and turn. Breathe and turn. It's much stronger if you're in the half or quarter roll back. Can you try and go for another 5 or 6 turns? Each turn left and right is 1 repetition. The muscles will really wrap around those center, postural muscles will be engaged as they wrap around your center. And then continue the journey down to the mat, laying down. Release your weights, lengthen your legs, and allow a full body stretch. Take the arms overhead. Inhale, exhale, and really enjoy that center. You feel that center really awakening. Now please bring your feet into supine semi, bending the knees. Now this particular movement is about anchoring energy and finding attention into the pelvic core, the pubic core, and the lowest abdominal. So make sure that you are in neutral. Lift the head, gaze down the body, see that there's an imaginary center line from the nose, the chin, the notch in the collarbone, the navel, and your root, and heavy, heavy tail. And as the hands just rest onto the hip points, walk your feet away. So walking each foot away, like you're walking away from the pelvis. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. And the legs will come almost long, and then walk the feet back in. Remember to breathe. So heavy, heavy abdominals, heavy feeling of container of strength in the midline. Not really heavy abs, but I mean just engage them fully. And then walk your heels away or your feet away. Walk them away. Feel these muscles hug in as the legs almost get to length. Pause and then walk your feet back in. And you might be walking 2 steps forward. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 2 back. Or depending on the length of your legs, you might be walking 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 4. Yeah, so keep walking out, walking back. Your legs are moving easily as you walk away and walk back. And this is a more modern Pilates action. It's a little bit coming into toe taps and heel slides. So we're just doing one more set. Hopefully you can feel those lowest abdominals engage. And there's also you checking that you're not overarching the back. Bring the knees now into the chest and give yourself a little hug. Massage the low back. Second practice for the lowest abdominals, the heel slides. Now this really is helpful if you've got a silky floor or a sock on. If you're a little bit hot because of the weather, it's a little bit more challenging. So you are in supine semi, and then slide your heel away and then slide the heel back. The pelvis doesn't rock. Slide the right heel and squeeze and slide back. Slide the left and squeeze and slide back. You can also cradle the head now if you wish and curl up the upper body. Look to the point above your knees or to the side. And what is stronger is double heel slide. So if you're quite powerful in the abs, can you try a couple of doubles? But please, no beginners doing this action and nobody with any tenderness in their low back. So single alternate heel slides, please, with your body laying down. So return to the single singles or the single alternates. And some of us just having a few tries at the doubles. So you're sliding both heels away. These abdominal muscles contract, especially as you pull back, because you're drawing back the weight of those legs. So only about 6 repetitions, please. It's pretty strong on there. And then begin to notice how you feel when you curl up. So return to supine semi. Maybe you want to involve a long arm curl up. So arms come to the collarbones or the sides of the jaws. And as you curl the upper body up, reach the fingers towards the heels. And then I'm also going to add a slide of the right leg. And then release. So coming almost back into the feeling sense of the heel slide. So arms into ribcage arms, collarbones, or slightly raised above that level, anchor the back ribs. Breathe in as you exhale, curl up, and then slide your left leg away. Make sure you can sustain the strength, and then releasing everything back. So slow it down first of all to really refresh your technique. And drawing back. You can hover that leg, that single leg, just a little bit above the earth if you're sticking to your mat with your heel, or as I say, you slide and glide. And of course you can also cradle the head and slide as you curl up. And slide on the exhale and release. Really come into your own practice as you engage mindful action. So the upper, mid and lower abdominals all involved in this long arm curl up with single leg slide. And then completing the next repetition, back to supine semi, relax the head and arms and just let the knees sway left and sway right into easy floor twist. Remember to relax and breathe. And you may even want to roll your head and neck also. And now bring your knees into knee fold. So each knee folds above the hip and squeeze the legs together. Lay the arms down, and you can anchor your arms more significantly if that works for you. And Pilates hip roll. So roll the thighs over to the right, but keep your torso steady, anchored and strong. Hover the legs, and then as you exhale, draw the legs back to the center. Now try to avoid, as the legs come to the right, turning your head to the left. The only reason I'm doing that is because I'm kind of looking into the screen, imagining you in your group class all joining in. But you want to be gazing up to the sky. So now when the legs hover over to the left, pause, feel the torso muscles engage, shoulder blades are anchored, chest is open, nose straining it in the neck, and then draw the knees back to the center. So important that you keep your top line, your shoulders, your chin, your eyes gazing up, and just find this action in the lowest and mid and oblique abdominals. So it's the side waist. Pilates hip roll is a very technique heavy action. So slow it down, really feel it, and you are rolling to the right with the thighs and hovering. So it's a very subtle action, but it's in the hover that you really feel those muscles engage. So finding now your left side, hover, breathe, abdominals, anchor you back. And then again, hug the knees into the chest and now draw a pelvic circle. So we're getting ready now for Joseph Pilates Magic 5, his series of 5. And this was a series of core actions in the Pilates method, which he designed to run concurrently in a sequence. And the first one is single leg extend. So settle into your pelvis neutral, float again, the right knee above the hip, the left knee above the hip. Beginners or anyone who's fatigued, simply extend and float the left leg away as the knee comes back to center, and extend and float the right leg away, and then your knee folds back. And what's important is you remember it's almost like you've got a shelf bracket between the calf and the back of the thigh. So do not let those lower legs dangle down. You should be seeing the tops of your feet all the way through. So you can alternately extend through the legs, keep the pace steady and the breath is occurring throughout, abs are toned throughout. Commonly we curl up as well, and we might reach the fingers towards the base of the mat, and then if you're clear and confident with your technique, become a little bit more dynamic. When you curled up, fingers towards the bottom of the mat, cradled head option, breathing throughout, or even bring the arms up behind you into like a V-stump. You can flex out the heels. As a change, you can point the feet. But remember, whatever version you're using, you are breathing well throughout. And then draw those knees into the chest. And of course, give yourself a little breather, a little hug, and a little rest. So, float both legs up to the sky and give them a little wiggle. Soften the knees. Some of us might be able to extend the legs into that very long leg. And some of you sorry. Yes, just checking my double leg series of 5. Yes, so double legs up to the sky and then bend the knees back. Reach the legs up to the sky. So we lengthen those hamstrings and then bend your knees back to the tabletop method. So legs lengthen away like an arrow and the knees fold back. So this is our double leg stretch. Both legs lengthen away like an arrow, abdominals are engaged, bend the knees back. More advanced practice, curl up, fingers touch the sides of the knees or thighs. As the legs reach away by an arrow, so do the arms. Exhale, curl round. Legs and arms reach away. It's like a V. You can even do this laying down. Remember, your legs might be reaching just from the knee folds and up to the sky, or you might be comfortable to extend the legs to a 45-degree angle. And then curl, reach, and curl. Inhale, reach, exhale, curl, usually about 6 or 8 of these. It is known as Pilates double leg stretch. And in my opinion, it really fires up that belly super strong. So rest when you need to, floor twists, or hug your knees into the chest. And again, double legs, lift away. So fold the knees, lengthen the legs. As you separate the legs, this is the double long leg scissor. So it's a single leg extend. Now you and I can reach those scissors much further apart if that is satisfying and comfortable for your whole core. So if you're able to wrap the muscles around and keep control of those wide leg scissors, please do so. Once again, curl up if you wish to. And change. 10, 9, 8, 7. Cradle the head as an option. 6, 5. Keep the back ribs anchored. The waist is wrapping. All of those muscles are wrapping around. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And relax. If you haven't done so already, take a moment to refresh the breath, maybe reach the legs away, come into a whole body stretch. And feel the energy that you've generated in your practice so far. And then return to supine semi. Anchor the body. Make sure that you feel contented in your Pilates neutral. So level neutral pelvis. Feet in supine semi. Again, knee fold. Find that as you knee fold, the back muscles engage more strongly. Reach the legs up towards the sky like an arrow if you can. But remember, some of us will have the knee fold position. And then double legs, reach away and lower. So there's a couple of options here. In advanced practice, you may even want to bring your heels together and bring the legs into V stance. But that's only going to work if your legs can zip together through the midline really strongly. And as you lower the legs, the belly muscles do not dome. Everything stays contracted and then you squeeze back. So I need every practitioner to be really honest about where their body is at in the Pilates practice. Where are you at today? What's going on in this present moment? If you need to, move to the secondary action, which is softer. You start in knee fold and you just lengthen legs away and bend them back. You can even bring them a little closer into your chest if that helps. So here's my beginner's version. Just knees folding into the chest and legs pointing away like a little 45 or 60-degree angle. And then I'm going to advanced, which is lowering the legs and pulling those legs back to center. And usually there's about 6, 8, or 10 repetitions here. So give yourself time to slow this down and really feel these muscles stabilize, because it's the legs that are your apparatus as they draw away from your body. Remember to breathe. And then after 6, 8, or 10, take the feet down. Give yourself a little wiggle. And it's at this point, I would also add in a bridge. So press the feet into the mat, lift the hips into Pilates shoulder bridge, and peel the spine down. We don't need to be too timely there in our corrections. Simply flatten the back, tuck the tail, and lift the hips. Lengthen the abdominals into shoulder bridge. Make sure the feet are anchored fully. You might even want to take your arms overhead. Feel that lovely space and length coming from the breastbone to the pubis. Gluteals engaged, and peel it down. The last action in Joseph Pilates' series of 5 is known as crisscross. And what it does, as you know, is it combines single leg extend, to get those legs going into single leg extend. It combines it with a curl up and cradled head with a twist. So as your left leg extends, curl the left elbow towards the right thigh, look to the side of the mat, center, here is the centering position, breathe in, exhale, turn, and as right leg extends, the right shoulder comes towards the left hip. And then it's a matter of finding a rhythm. Try not to tug on the head and neck. I would say after 10 or 15 repetitions, pause and give yourself a little break. And then we're going to place the feet flat and add in a second oblique twist to today's practice. So feet are on the earth, supine semi, cradle your head as you curl up, look to the tops of the knees on side. And then reach your right arm towards your right heel. Inhale back. And then reach your right arm towards your left heel or left thigh. Exhale and draw back. And you can always lay down and refresh. So second side, curl the upper body, support the head and neck. Reach your left arm to the left thigh or left heel. Exhale, return, breathe in. And now reach your left arm to the right thigh or right heel. Exhale and squeeze. Inhale back. And then we return to the right side. Right arm to right side. Breathe in. Exhale, right arm to left side. Left to left. Left to the right. And return. Right to the left. Right to the right. Now each time you swap sides and swap arms, you're trying to keep this pelvis really level. So you're sinking through the hips and engaging the muscles strongly. So left to left, left to right, release. And then right to the right. And right to the left. This is really good because it also involves mind, body and breath. You've got to keep engaged with which arm and swapping sides. Right to right, and right reaches over to the left. Last side, guys. Reach left to left, reach left to the right. Complete the one that you're on, and then release. Slide the legs away, and have a moment of just noticing the energy and the strength that you've produced into your center body. Now, as you fold the knees, roll onto your left side and come into side line. We've just got one side line, one prone, and one side line to complete today. So stack your hips, right hip on top of left. Remember, your left arm can come under the ear or the pillow, or you can cradle the head. Right fingers in front of your navel. Squeeze the legs together and raise the legs. So this is for the side waist. Hold, hover. Engage the midline, zip and hollow. Buttocks are lightly toned. Lower the legs. Lift the waist away. Pull the belly in. Raise the legs. Now the legs may not raise that high. That's absolutely fine. But can you hover and sustain that strength? Coming down. Raise. Lower, 3, and 2, and 1, and then roll onto the front body, elbows below the shoulders, curl the tails, curl the toes, sorry, curl in, tailbone between the thighs, elbow or low Pilates elbow plank. Hug your muscles in, shoulder blades down the back, flatten. So try not to stick the bum into the sky with a valley in the lumbar. So you've got to roll that tail in, and your body is very low to the practice mat. Can you breathe? Can you squeeze fruit under the armpits? And then bring the knees under the chest. Send the buttocks towards the feet, shell stretch. And flip to your other side for your sideline waist. So stacking left hip above the right, legs extend, raise the legs when you can, no need to rush this, shoulders down the back, lower the legs. Left hip stacked above the right hip. When you're ready, raise both legs, squeeze the legs together, you push the feet away into flexion, you can point the toes, and you hover and land. Try not to rock the hips. Maybe 3 more, so we've got 5 in total. The double leg, it's the side raise. If you raise your body as well, and it comes into a stronger feeling on that side waist, which is the smile. Let's just see if you can manage just squeezing and raising those legs. And then roll again onto the front body. Find your shell stretch. Release the buttocks. Come into all fours. Roll the tail up and down. Roll through the pelvis. Perhaps even find a yoga cat pose. And then as you curl the toes, take the hands towards the feet. Ragdoll, deep exhale, and then unravel to stand. Roll out your shoulders and finish with morning sunrise. Lovely breath in. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day. Bring the palms as you exhale down into the navel. Sense all that good strength. And give yourselves a clap.